I'm Bob Brooks, and today we'll be cooking again with a Masterbilt electric smoker. And today we're going to do a pork tenderloin wrapped in bacon, smoked up with a bunch of pineapple juice inside. And I think it'll be the most tender piece of meat we brought out just so far. So, in preparation for smoking this tenderloin, I took pineapple freshly cut, minced it down, took the juices from it, injected it into my pork tenderloin, put the entire pork tenderloin into this baggie, put that in the refrigerator for 2.5 hours. So the juices from the pineapple essentially will tenderize the tenderloin. So when I add the Italian sausage, we'll have this thing ready to go. And I'll come back as soon as we get this thing stuffed up and tied together. So when I stuffed this tenderloin, basically what I've done is I made a canoe type cut down the middle. Then I went to the sides, took a small piece out, opened it up with a big fillet. But you notice it's not cut all the way through from end to end. The reason why we didn't cut it all the way through from end to end is because we don't want the juices to run out. This is going to make one excellent gravy by the end. So I'm stuffing it with standard old folks Italian sausage. You can use homemade sausage of any flavor you want. I particularly like a little bit of Italian. It's got a nice little kick on the end. So I've got the Italian sausage stuffed inside now, and I've got it kind of pressed in using my fingers back into the corners and the edges. And so now what we have to do is close this thing up. We're almost there. So I'm using just standard picks or sticks. You get 100 pieces for next to nothing at the local store. And what I've done is I've made them a little bit smaller than the original package. So I've cut them down and we're sticking them in the sides. And the reason for this is I'm going to pull these together using some cooking string. We're going to tie all this up into one neat, tidy little loaf. Okay, so now that I've got this thing closed up and strung together, you'll see the value behind this in just a minute. That little strip that I cut out of the center, that went across the main cut and sealed that right up. Now we're going to go through a process called larding. Basically, we're going to take a bunch of double cut bacon, slice it up, and lace that over the top of the cut underneath the string. Now I like to use fried hickory bacon, although any brand will do, and it doesn't even have to be double cut or double thickness. What we're going to do is cut these basically in half, just enough to go over the edges and dribble down the sides of the tenderloin. So now you can see the value of the spacing of the sticks up above the meat and then being strung and tightened in together. That way we can slide the bacon in underneath of it, give it a nice coat, seal if you will. I've done this once before as well. This is how I like to do my tenderloin, but I've done this somewhere else. I actually deboned a turkey, a chicken, and a duck and made my own turducken. Inside the turkey, though, I wrapped the duck and the chicken in bacon as well. So when I got done with the bird, I decided why not. I had some bacon left over, and I wrapped the entire turkey. So it was a turducken covered in bacon, and man, was it good. So I've got the thing fully coated in bacon. It's ready to go out to the smoker. I threw some spices on top just for good measure. This is a recipe that my sister-in-law has been dying to get her hands on for years, so I think we're going to finally hook her up. Now note, this does not have to be smoked. You can throw this on a grill, you can wrap it in foil and roast it, put it in a roaster bag and go it that way. And it dawned on me as I was working on this particular one, although I've done many in the past, that maybe if I got some high melt cheese, you know, like a pepper jack, then that might go well inside in the stuffing as well. Okay, so before we take off and put this on the grill, I've got the drip pan covered in foil. I got the grill grate covered with some Pam, as you can see. So the cooking oil will keep anything from sticking to it as we go through the smoking process. So let's get this thing started. Okay, so we got the beast in place. The water tray filled up, didn't cross the line. I've got an extra pan in here this time because I want to catch some of these drippings to make a nice roux to build a gravy after everything's said and done. I'm leaving the thermometer out of the pork tenderloin this time. Again, around the 2-3 hour mark, I'm going to pull out my own thermometer and check the internal temperature. So there she is, ready to go. We're about ready to put some chips in. So I've got my chip tray loaded, and the object is not to go over that height. So this got a little bit too much in it. We're going to knock it down a hair. We'll throw those in at a later date, later time. And I found with my last cook that I can put this in here probably 2 or 3 times easily without having to check it, as long as I don't go over the line here, over the edge. So in it goes. It's going to start smoking. Takes about 10 minutes, and we're cooking. So like I said, I've got my own thermometers for checking the internal temperature of the meat. I've got this set right now for 4 hours. We're probably going to go a little bit longer. With the temperature set at 265. I may bring that down. I have about 5 hours to get this done, so I'm kind of pushing with the heat temperatures. Okay, so all the timing is set, the temperature's set. It's approaching 1 o'clock. It's time for football. So again, about 10 minutes in, and she is rolling in smoke. So game on. Just a safety's note, I've got my unit plugged into an outdoor GFI. If I scan backwards here, you'll see that I've got it tucked underneath the soffit. I have about a 4-foot soffit on the house. That'll keep it dry just in case we get any rain in the area. But if you have to run an extension cord to your unit, make sure that the gauge of wire is as good or greater than in size than the cord itself, especially for long runs. And I wouldn't run anything over 10 foot in an extension cord to this unit. So make sure you get a heavy gauge wire to do so. Okay, so the first hour is come and gone. You can see that the smoke has stopped. So I'm going to refill the smoke tray, get her going again. Okay, we're 2 hours in. I've just checked the tray for charcoal buildup. The water in the bowl is still good. You can see that top layer of bacon I put on there is now a crispy brown, so the under layers aren't coming out as done. I peeled them off, and that's one of the prices you pay for putting too much bacon on there. So I backed that off, so you just have one layer across the top. That should brown up really, really nice. I put my thermometer on, set it for pork. We're internal temperature 123 and we're shooting for 160. So we still got a lot of time on this, and we're about 2 hours in. So I'll check back. Okay, another hour done. You can see that first layer of bacon is starting to brown up real nice. Thermometer reads pork internal temperature at 155. I'm running at 256. I'm going to let this run for about 30 more minutes. Then I'm going to pull it out and wrap it. Okay, so we put the meat thermometer on it. We got to 161, goal of 160. It's been in for 4 hours now. So I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to wrap it, I'm going to stick it back in there for another hour or so at a low temp. Right now I'm running 214. I'm going to go down to about 200 and just kind of let it cook in its own juices for a while. Okay, tender as you can possibly imagine. I mean, it breaks off to the touch. That Italian sausage is well cooked inside. And one loaf will feed anywhere from 6 to 10 people. And much like a bowl of chili or yesterday's fried chicken, this thing goes in the refrigerator and comes back up. You can slice it into steaks all day long, and it's a great sandwich as well. Well, as I said, you put some cooking spray on these racks, they come out really nice. They look brand new right out of the box. So just a little cooking tip going forward.